Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I make videos for anyone who's looking to try and improve their chess in the club rating level, beginner level, any level really, and I'm just documenting my chess journey, explaining what I'm learning, making videos on openings, my thought process with live games. So if that sounds interesting, please consider subscribing as it would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, in today's video, I'll be continuing the series of the opening theory on the Bronstein-Larsen. I made the first video yesterday. It was covering on the 6th move, white playing 92. Today we'll be looking at the main line. So this is probably the most crucial line, and yeah, let's just get into it. So white starts with e4, obviously, the Caro-Kann, c6, d4, and now knight c3, d4, and now we enter the Bronstein-Larsen with gxf6. Now takes. Now yesterday we looked at 92. If you haven't seen that video and you want to see it, I can put it in the description for you. So 92 was looked at yesterday. Now c3. Now the book I'm actually learning from, it doesn't actually say too much on this, so I've actually had to spend about the last 5 hours. I woke up at about 9 o'clock, it's 12 o'clock now, and I've literally just been looking at all these lines. So I've put effort into this video. Now, c3, first of all, c3 is an interesting move. c3 is kind of a waiting move because white does not want to commit, first of all, with knight f6, because then we can go bishop g4. It's quite pleasant for black. So c3 kind of just sees where we'll put our bishop, because we can't go bishop g4 now. So c3 is kind of a waiting move to see what we'll do. Now, this is also the main line, so bishop f5, we continue, and now white goes knight f3. And you'd probably wonder, oh, c3 is to go bishop d3. I don't think that's that good for white in these lines, as you will see the whole idea of this c3 main line. So knight f3, and now we go e6. We just close up. Oh, sorry, I accidentally pressed. Ooh, sorry about that. I actually just pressed the play button. Okay, now white goes white goes g3. So the whole idea of this main line is to fianchetto this bishop and try and get it to attack this side. And also with this bishop here, it's quite solid, so it'll be quite hard for us to attack, because if this rook, maybe we can push the pawn, but I mean white can also defend. So this is quite solid for white. Now there's 3 moves here. I'll cover them all. Knight d7 is the line that my book recommends. And now after bishop g2, bishop g7, castles, and knight h4, bishop g6. White actually scores very well in this. Now we probably need to make this bishop open, and the thing is though, this bishop is very strong. White has a very solid position. We've got these doubled pawns here. We've got this isolated pawn. So white scores very well here. So I won't be recommending this line, although you can definitely do further research and find out something in this line that works for you. So that's one line. Now the other line is also to go bishop d6. This is probably a bit more of a. This is the most aggressive. So if you have an aggressive style of chess, I kind of do. I kind of have a solid style. This is probably the line for you. Bishop d6. Now after bishop g2, knight d2. Sorry, excuse me. Knight d7. Castles, queen c7, and let's say knight h4. And bishop g6, say queen e2, and castles. This is kind of the setup that black always kind of looks for. If you don't know any of the theory, this is kind of the setup, the basic setup for black in the Bronstein-Larsen. Queen on c7, bishop on d6, knight on d7, bishop on g6, and you castle queenside and you try attack. However, white, you notice, has a very dangerous bishop. So if white makes a pawn storm, black's king could be in great trouble, and also it might be a bit harder for us to attack this king because it's kind of in this safe cone. So you can also do your further research on this, but this is one way to play. It's very risky though. That's the one thing I'd say. It's extremely risky for black. So I'll be showing you the line that actually scores the best. It's a bit boring. But it actually, you get a very... I was looking at the position. I'll be showing you a game as well. Now the position actually gets very easy to play. It's one of those middle game positions where the ideas are fairly clear and they're not that complicated, as you will see. So now the other move here is Queen D5. So we're already putting pressure on this knight, and this also has another idea to it. Bishop G2, and now there's an idea to go Queen E2 and exchange queens with Bishop C2, say after Knight H4. But this line is not that good. I mean, black exchanges queens, so if you like to exchange queens, the only thing is, if you go into an endgame, I would think this would be a weakness, but you can look into this line further. I wouldn't go for it. So after Queen E4, I'll be showing you after Bishop G2 is Queen C4. Now you're stopping white from castle. So I'll be showing a game from here. Now Bishop E3, just developing the pieces. And now Knight D7, getting this knight into the game. Now white here goes Bishop F1 because white wants the castle and we're stopping him. And now we just continue Queen D5 again. And now white here goes Queen E2 because white wants to get the same setup but doesn't want to allow us to play Queen C4. So this also could go for a draw. So if you got the black pieces and you need a draw, this could be quite a good weapon. Now Knight B6. There was a game with C5 and black pretty much got blown off the board because after white developed this bishop, this line was extremely weak. So C5 is actually not a very good positional move here because this bishop will be looking down this diagonal. So Knight B6 is played. It's an improvement to C5. Bishop G2. And now Queen C4. We want to exchange queens. Also, if takes, this is very favourable for white. Sorry, for black. And now Knight H4. Okay, we take. King takes. And now Bishop G4. F3. Bishop H5. G4. And now Bishop G6. As we can see, we've got an interesting position here. It looks like lots of squares could be infiltrated in white's camp. The light squares are fairly weak, and yeah, we'll see what happens. F4 was played, and now Knight D5. This is actually a very good move because white, I think he wants to play this. Also, he can't really because if takes, we just go Bishop H5. We also attack this bishop, and we just centralize the knight, also blunt this bishop a bit. So now Bishop D2 was played, and now Knight E7. Black here has a very concrete plan, and you'll see what Knight D7 does to it. At first, I was kind of wondering what this move does, but C4, white wants to try open up. Eventually, wants to just blast through. Because I think if white can exchange this e-pawn, then these would be double isolated. So that's a bit of a strategic idea. Now F5, we want to open up our bishop and actually get our pieces into the game. So Knight G6 is played. Takes, and now G5. And now this is where black's position is quite pleasant. I mean, you shouldn't always listen to the eval bar, but I think black's like equal here, but I actually think this is quite easy to play for black. Castles, the castling with tempi, Bishop B3, Bishop G7, all the moves coming very naturally. Rook D8, and now Rook H4. So kind of pinning this bishop to here, and also just putting the rook in a quite annoying place. You can always also double stack. Now, white tries to launch a pawn storm with b4, f3, because we want to try and open this up. Rook d3, rook g8 was played to go g5, although g5 here could have actually just been played straight away. Yeah, I remember the eval bar was telling me, I think after takes, I'm not 100% sure what the continuation is. Sorry, Bishop D4. Yeah. Say Rook D4. Rook D4. Yeah. So we could also do that, and then but I think black here wanted to go Rook G8 first. B5 was played, and now takes. Rook b3, rook h8, h3, takes. And now here, black's actually better. As we can see, this knight can hop into good squares. These rooks are fairly active. And white is, though, looking at hitting our queen. So here we go, is important move 95 to blunt this bishop. White takes, rook here, and now white here makes a mistake. White here goes rook c6, trying to get tricky because we can't take and try go after this pawn. However, I encourage you to pause this video and find why this move does not work. I'll give you how much other time you want, and you can just pause the video. So the idea is to take. Now, if rook takes, we just take, and if king takes, we take here. And here, white resigned. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. It was an interesting game. I just wanted to show you a line for black that actually scores fairly well, because these lines, even these lines with like bishop d6, queen c7, and knight d7, and castle queenside, they don't actually score that well for black. So that's a line that I found scored well. If you did get any value out of this video, please leave a like up. Also, I appreciate all the positive comments and all the new subscribers. I think we're at 39, so maybe we can try hit 50. You know, that would be a great milestone. And yeah, have a good rest of your day.